Hello, brave souls, and welcome to a journey that will send chills down your spine. Step beyond comfort into a realm of unknown. Join me in a haunted morgue. Experience the uncanny, the eerie, a place with a history of the strange. This is no fiction, it is my reality, a night amidst the dead. If you're courageous, join me in this unexplainable journey. Are you ready? The night awaits us. Have you ever spent a night in a morgue? Not just any morgue, but one with a history of the strange and unexplained. It's not a question that one hears every day, and certainly not one you'd expect to answer affirmatively, yet I am among those who have. The tale I'm about to unfold, the narrative that I'll weave, speaks of a night I've spent in a place that isn't meant for the living, but the silent, dead. The morgue was nestled deeply within an ancient building, its stone walls bearing the marks of 1,000 years. Each brick, each crevice, seemed to hold an untold story, whispering tales of the uncanny to those who dared listen closely. It was as if the very walls were a living history book, their narratives silently seeping into the chill of the morgue. And the chill, oh, the chill. It was no ordinary cold, not like the winter or the cool of a summer night's breeze. It was a constant, piercing cold that clawed its way under your skin, wrapping your bones in an icy grasp and sending shivers down your spine. It was the kind of cold that followed you, no matter how many layers you wore or how close you huddled by the fading warmth of a candle flame. The cold was a constant reminder that you were not alone. There was a presence, an energy that filled the room, lingering in the shadows. It was a sensation that hinted at unseen eyes and unheard whispers, a stark reminder that the morgue was a world that teetered between the familiar and the unknown. Rumours surrounded this place like a dense, foreboding fog, cutting off all sense of reality. Stories of spectral figures seen in the corners of the eyes, of the eerie echo of laughter in the empty corridors, of the sudden gust of wind on a still night. These were no mere tales spun to frighten children or to thrill the curious. They were experiences told by those who dared spend a night within these ominous walls. The morgue was a hushed world, plunged into a silence so profound that one could hear their own heartbeat. The faint hum of the city outside was extinguished by the almost inaudible sigh of the old building, its breath heavy with age and mystery. It was as if stepping into the building was stepping into a different realm, where the rules of reality were suspended and time was stretched thin and brittle as gossamer. Yet, within this realm of the unknown, I spent a night, not out of foolhardy bravery or a reckless desire for thrill, but out of a burning curiosity to understand, to confront the inexplicable. I was drawn, pulled into the heart of the morgue by an invisible hand, bound by a strange fascination I could not shake off. I walked through the corridors, the creaking doors, the flickering shadows and the silent spaces, listening to the whispers of the morgue. The night was long, filled with a mix of fear, anticipation, and an odd sense of calm. I was a guest in this realm, a silent observer to the strange of an unseen world. Every rustle of the wind, every flicker of the candlelight, every echo in the silence held a strange allure. I felt like I was on the cusp of uncovering a hidden truth, of deciphering a cryptic code that had been hidden for centuries within these stone walls. And what I experienced was far from ordinary. As the cloak of darkness descended, the morgue began to stir and breathe, transforming into a spectral playground. The transformation was not abrupt, but a gradual transmutation, each step steeped in an escalating sense of fear. The atmosphere began to shift, a palpable heaviness sinking in, with the last dregs of sunlight disappearing, leaving the room swallowed in an unearthly blackened gloom. The air grew denser, almost suffocating, seemingly burdened with the horrors that were about to unfold as the night marched ahead. The silence that ensued was far from peaceful. It was an ominous lull before a tempest, a pregnant pause filled with uncertainties, each one more menacing than the other. The stillness was punctured by the disquieting sounds, each noise jarring and distinct. An eerie symphony of whispers, distant echoes filled the room, a discordant harmony that held no place in the sterility of the morgue. Every sound carried a cryptic message, a fragment of a conversation happening in a realm beyond our comprehension. More unnerving were the spectral voices that seemed to slither from the corners of the room, murmuring words too faint to discern. They were spectral whispers from an unseen source, not the typical murmurs of a bustling hospital. These voices seeped into my consciousness, intertwining with my thoughts, spinning a vortex of fear and dread. As the air thickened with dread, an unearthly chill enveloped the room, a coldness not born from the sterile equipment around. The plummeted, random cold spots appearing like ghostly footprints imprinting their existence. Suddenly, an apparition materialized, a wraith-like figure that floated eerily, its form flickering intermittently. Its ghastly eyes bore into me, a spectral voyeur observing from the shadows. I felt watched, scrutinized and judged, a constant gaze that seemed to be gauging my reactions, feasting on my mounting terror. The sterile scent of the morgue was disrupted by an inexplicable smell, a fusion of damp earth and metallic tang, much like blood. It was a disconcerting scent, a tangible reminder of the proximity of death. The smell seemed to invade every inch of the room, a visceral assault that amplified the dread. No longer was fear an abstract idea. It was a living, pulsating entity, its icy tendrils coiling around my heart, squeezing with every unnatural event. Every inexplicable movement of an object, every sudden drop in temperature, every spectral voice, all fed into this fear, a fear that was beginning to warp my reality. A sense of dread-soaked anticipation hung heavily in the air, a silent spectre seemingly awaiting the climax of this ghostly performance. The feeling intensified with every passing minute, each inexplicable sound, each phantom whisper, each cold spot adding to the escalating tension. A jolt of realization hit me, a chilling clarity piercing the shadowed veil of denial. The morgue was not just a room filled with remnants of lives lost. It had become an entity of its own. I was not alone. There was something else in there with me, a haunting presence that lived in the darkness, waiting. As the first light of dawn pierced the abyss, I emerged a twisted, remodeled version of myself. Clawing my way out from the suffocating shroud of darkness that had swallowed me whole, I limped into the glaring light, forever scarred, bearing the wounds of a new, terrifying enlightenment. The night had performed its ghastly opera, leaving me as the solitary, shell-shocked spectator grappling with the sinister notes of its haunting requiem. The occurrences of that night weren't merely events, they were bone-chilling ordeals, each searing into me a deep, indelible imprint, a scar far more dreadful than any physical manifestation of pain. They were like monstrous footprints on the delicate fabric of my psyche, trailing back into a maze of dread and horror, a maze within which I was now hopelessly entwined. A sense of dread clung to me, an insidious spectre refusing to depart. It was an oppressive reminder of the nightmares dwelling in the void, nightmares now entangled in my very being. It was an echoing whisper creeping through my spirit, growing louder, intensifying with each passing heartbeat, forcing me to shudder at its icy grip. Questions swarmed around me, a savage tornado of self-doubt and paralyzing fear. Was it real? Could such horror exist? The answer taunted me, constantly out of reach, mocking my feeble attempts to grasp it. It was an enigma shrouded in shadows, a riddle crying out for resolution. But how does one uncover answers when those answers lurk in the realm of the unfathomable? What had I truly beheld? The images, the scenes, horrors burned into my as vivid and petrifying as the instant they unfolded. The dancing shadows, the biting cold, the oppressive silence, the paralyzing fear, all merged into a chilling tableau, destined to invade my nightmares for countless sleepless nights. A relentless shiver courses through my veins at the mere recall of that night. It's not merely a shiver, but a freezing shock that roots me to my spot, that raises the hairs on my neck, that causes my heart to hammer in terror. It's a visceral response to a memory forever seared into my mind, a memory that resists the passage of time. The encounter's impact was unbearably palpable. It resonated in my every thought, my every action, colouring the way I perceived the world. It was akin to a blight on a pristine sheet of paper, a blot that tarnished the paper's innocence, revealing a tale as sinister as it was fascinating. A night in the morgue? It's a descent into the abyss, a chilling waltz with the shadows, with your deepest, darkest fears. It's an ordeal that remolds you, that shatters you, leaving you a tormented soul when dawn breaks and you crawl out of the darkness. But when the sun rises, it does not illuminate your salvation, it simply exposes the depths from which you have ascended, forever etched in the annals of your existence as a haunting testament to the terror you survived. In the morgue, it's not just a memory, but a phantom echo of darkness that never truly fades. A stark reminder that even in the face of dawn's promise, the night's shadows linger, forever binding the soul to its fathomless. As I left the morgue, the sun was rising, and the world was waking up to another day. Life was resuming its usual rhythm. People were starting their routines, oblivious to the nightmarish ordeal I had just emerged from. The morgue behind me, a stark, cold monument of dread, stood in stark contrast to the vibrant, bustling world around me. It was as if I had stepped out of a chilling horror movie into a heartwarming drama, but the horror, the dread, the chilling echoes of the night, they were all too real, the scars they left, all too tangible. As I walked down the street, the world around me seemed altered, distorted. Every shadow held a potential terror, every silence an ominous whisper. The haunting memory of the night, the terrifying encounter, clung to me like a sinister spectre, casting a long, dark shadow over the bright, sunny morning. It was as if I was viewing the world through a dark, twisted lens, a lens that had been permanently etched onto my eyes by the horrors of the night. The morgue, that cold, silent building, holds secrets that are better left undiscovered. It's a realm where the normal rules of reality are suspended, where the unimaginable becomes the reality, where your deepest, darkest fears come to life. It's a place that once entered leaves an indelible mark on your soul, a mark that defines you, that changes you, that challenges your very perception of reality. Dare to venture? The choice is yours. But remember, once you cross the threshold, once you step into the morgue, there's no turning back. The shadows that lurk there, the horrors that dwell there, they don't just scare you, they change you. And once changed, there's no going back. You carry the echoes of the night, the memories of the encounter, the scars of the ordeal, with you forever. The morgue is not just a place, it's a journey into the unknown, a journey from which there's no return. In the end, you're left with a choice: to venture into the unknown, to unravel the mysteries lurking in the shadows, or to stay in the comfort of the known, to turn away from the darkness. The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, some secrets, some journeys are better left untouched, unexplored. The morgue, with its chilling secrets, its haunting echoes, its terrifying encounters, is one such journey. Dare to venture? The choice is yours. Before we part ways, I have a small request. If you've enjoyed this chilling journey into the unknown and wish to accompany me on future ventures, please hit the subscribe button. It's your support that fuels our exploration into the uncharted territories of our darkest fears. And if this journey has left you with a chill running down your spine, do give this video a like. It's your way of telling me that you've dared to venture into the morgue with me and survived. I also invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Did the journey terrify you? Did it make you question your perception of reality? Or did it leave you with an insatiable curiosity to explore further? I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Your support fuels our journey into the unknown. Until next time, brave souls, remember, the morgue is a journey, not a destination. And every journey begins with a single step. Dare to take that step. The choice is yours.